For years, I thought success was a straight line: idea, code, glory. But my path? It looks less like a line and more like a spilled plate of spaghetti, a messy, tangled knot of false starts and dead ends. So I'm not here as some expert who's figured it all out. I'm here as someone who spent a lot of time tripping over his own code. And it took me a long, long time to realize that those graves, they're not markers of shame. They're the most expensive, most valuable education I ever got. An education no boot camp can sell you. So here's the first lesson I got: that perfection is a bastard. My early projects, they were cathedrals in my mind. I'd start with Hello World, and within 2 hours, I'm researching the most scalable microservices architecture for a to-do list app that no one, including me, will ever use. I'd get stuck for 3 days configuring the perfect build tool, writing extensive documentation for code that didn't exist yet, designing a logo for a project whose core functionality was broken. I was polishing a car that had no engine. I confused starting with planning and planning with doing. The truth is, your first version should be embarrassing. It should be a little ugly. It should do one stupid thing and do it badly, because a running ugly piece of shit is infinitely more useful and educational than a beautiful imaginary masterpiece. You can fix shit. You can't fix a fantasy. Lesson 2, your stack doesn't matter. Your problem does. Ah, the holy wars. React versus Vue. Svelte versus the world. Tailwind versus pure CSS. I've wasted months of my life in these debates. Literal months. Chasing the hot new thing. Rewriting half a project because something shinier came out. Here's the brutal truth I learned after the 50th corpse. No one gives a fuck what your stack is.
Really, nigga?
The user pressing the button doesn't care if it's powered by blockchain and machine learning if the button doesn't work. Pick something boring, stable, and well documented. Something that lets you focus on the actual problem you're trying to solve. The tech is a tool. You don't see a carpenter having an existential crisis over a hammer brand. He's too busy building a damn shelf. Be the carpenter. Build the shelf. Lesson 3, finish is a muscle. We're obsessed with starting. The new notebook, the new framework, the new idea. That's the fun part. The middle is a swamp. It's where the novelty wears off and the real work. The debugging, the refactoring, the boring stuff lives. I had a starter's high for years. I'd get 60% in, hit a wall of complexity or boredom. I was just doing creative avoidance. I was running from the difficult, unsexy process of finishing. Shipping something, even if it's small and has bugs, teaches you about edge cases, user experience, and technical debt. Starting 100 projects makes you a dilettante. Finishing 10, even small failures, makes you a craftsman. You have to build the finish muscle. It's painful. It feels like pulling teeth, but it's the only muscle that matters. Lesson 4, the monster in the closet is called scope. This is the project killer, the silent assassin. You start building a flashlight, then you think, but what if it could also be a radio? Then, ooh, and what if it could tweet the temperature? Next thing you know, you're trying to build the goddamn International Space Station with a 9-volt battery and a dream. Every single one of my failed projects died from this disease. So here's my advice. Take your initial idea, cut it in half, then cut it in half again. The core of what you want to do should be so small it almost feels insulting. Then build that. If you succeed, you can add the second half of the first half. Lesson 5. The code is the easy part. This one hurt. I thought being a good programmer meant writing elegant, efficient algorithms. And that is part of it, but it's maybe 30%. The other 70%? It's reading other people's horrible ancient code. It's writing a README someone can actually understand. It's dealing with version control merge conflicts that make you question your life choices. It's wrestling with deployment, environment variables, and servers that just decide to stop. Some of my most technically brilliant projects failed because I couldn't be bothered to write clear instructions on how to install the damn thing. I was so deep in the code, I forgot about the human on the other end. Don't be that guy. Look, I'm not saying failure is fun. It sucks. It's a punch in the gut. You stare at a blank screen after a project dies and you feel like an imposter, a fraud. But after 100 punches, you learn to roll with them. You learn to see the punch coming. You stop being afraid of it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to start Project 101. It's probably going to be a stupid little tool that does one thing, and I'm going to try like hell to finish it. And that's where brilliant comes in. Brilliant isn't about passive watching. It actually adapts to you, your background, your skill level, and your pace. Instead of throwing information at you, it walks you through concepts step by step with interactive problem solving, so you're actively thinking the whole time. What I really like is how deep it goes. Whether it's math, computer science, logic, or AI, you're not just learning what works, you're learning why it works. They've also added a ton of new content recently, so there's always something that challenges you just enough without feeling overwhelming. If this year you want to build a habit of real, meaningful learning and actually unlock skills you already have but haven't fully used yet, Brilliant is a great place to start. To learn for free on Brilliant for a full 30 days, go to brilliant.org nulllstalgia, scan the QR code on screen, or click on the link in the description. Brilliant's also given our viewers 20% off an annual premium subscription, which gives you unlimited daily access to everything on Brilliant.